What's up, Taurus Collective? Thank you for joining me for your 2025 road opener reading. My name is Keita. If it's your first time joining me, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Full transparency. I prior to starting the reading was taking some time to refresh my ancestor altar, light a candle, clean up some of the incense ashes, and put a new incense and things of that nature. And amidst doing that, I had a moment of grief. So I am coming to y'all after a bit of a crying spell. You probably could tell my eyes are a little puffy. I am good. I am in good spirits. I've learned over time that with the amount of close loved ones that I've lost, the quality of those spirits, and the weight of them having transitioned and me not knowing how to move through my grief in a healthy way for so long, that now that I do know what to do, I'm gonna be a minute. It's gonna take me a minute. And when I have those spells, agree to allow myself to, I'm very much a advocate and believer, advocate of and believer in the words of Life Jennings. Crying is like taking your soul to the laundromat. So a few minutes ago, I took my soul to the laundromat. I let the tears flow as I was having a moment of grief, particularly missing my great grandma, who I lived with for some time. I'm not exactly sure what age I was when we lived with her, when I was like a toddler and an infant or whatnot. But I spent some time, me and my mom, living with her then. Then my mom moved in with this guy who was hella abusive for some change. So I spent, I know, age 4 and 5 there. And then by 6, my mama had said, fuck that shit. And tapped into that inner warrior and left that situation. But I was then living with my great grandmother from 6 to almost 11 until she got Alzheimer's. And so that's a nice piece of my developmental years that I lived with her. And then in my grief, I was reminded of the good times and the not so good times. And there were some times that it was like, I wish she was here to talk to me about some of the negative behaviors that I saw from her. You know what I'm saying? Like, where did it stem from, so I could understand it, like her childhood, her mother and father, shit like that. Because I would love to understand where they came from, even though I have all the compassion in the world without having those details. But I've shared on the channel here before how, like, there was a time where she forced me to drink or eat milk, cereal that had sour milk. Unbeknownst to me or the rest of the family, she was in the early stages of Alzheimer's or dementia. And old school grandparents, like, you ain't waste no food. And so while I was telling her, grandma, this milk is sour, she was like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with that milk, eat your food. And I had to drink the sour milk or get my ass whooped or whatever the consequence was gonna be. But as an adult, having had repressed that memory for a long ass time, like, I forgot that shit even happened, right? But as I was on my awakening journey, those memories from the far crevices of my mind, deep in my subconscious, had started to resurface so that I could learn from them, make peace from them, heal from them, transmute that energy, right? From pain to wisdom. So while I own that, y'all, that was child abuse. We're gonna call a thing. That was abuse. She did have a mental health crisis going on, but there were other adults involved that could have taken some precautions to where I wouldn't have ended up in that situation, or after it happened, I would have felt safe to voice that happened, which then would have signaled something's not right here. So in essence, that's neglect and abuse, right? And that ties into the message that's coming through in you all's reading. So if you stuck around long enough in the video to hear this part, trust that I'm going to make sense of it all. The energy that's coming through for the Taurus collective in terms of the road that's blocked, that needs to be opened and unblocked, is relative to that energy of grief, of learning from where your experiences with abusers or abuse in some way has contributed to a lack of confidence or life force energy at this point on your journey, and how you operate on a day-to-day that has contributed to you not having that inner fire and willpower to move forward toward the things that you feel divinely called to. So I've already pulled the cards, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys what road is blocked, why that road is blocked, what you're needed to surrender or surrender to unblock the road, and also providing a crystal prescription. So for the Taurus collective, the road from a slave archetype, slave energy, to a damsel is blocked for you guys. That slave archetype being that in its shadow of one who gives their power to an external authority out of fear of making their own choices. So for some of you, you have some things that, what is in my teeth? You're being led to do, some decisions that you're needing to make along your divine journey, and you're giving your power away. That's slavery. You are leaving it up to some external factor, something that has happened, some individual, some circumstance, your job, whatever excuse you're making. You're handing your power over, or have been, to that external authority out of fear of making your own choices, because somewhere along the line, especially like in childhood, you may have felt like you had a choice and you didn't make the right one, or you were scolded, abused in some way, and you fought yourself for having not made the right choice. But when the slave is in its light attribute, it's one who surrenders their power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So you all are absolutely being called to trust where the divine is leading you. That the divine is leading you to your healing, to clarity, to truth, to love, to abundance, to prosperity. All of the things that are your birthright, and all of the things that the locust has stolen. It was not your fault. It wasn't my fault that I drank the spoiled milk. To this day, you can't get me to drink cow's milk. And I barely fuck with almond milk, except for like I use it in my smoothies and my oatmeal, but like straight, because of that experience, right? But that's just like one of the monsters under my bed. It's an illusion. It happened. It left an imprint on me, but there are things that I can and have used to help heal the trauma that it left behind. And if I'm truly living in the present and surrendering the power of choice to the divine with complete trust, then I know that that happened in that moment in time. It was part of my sacred contract to have had that experience so that I could develop the character needed to be where I am right now and be led where I am being led on my divine journey. And so for many of you, getting out of that slave mentality, giving up and handing over your power and allowing what others think, what others tell you, their opinions, and how your decisions might affect them. If it's something that you've surrendered to the divine and you're doing what you're divinely led to do, and you're trusting that God's completely leading you in the right direction, don't worry about that other shit, because it's leading you to your independence, which is this damsel energy that is showing up. Many of you may be familiar with the concept of a damsel, because there's this saying, phrase, damsel in distress, which would be someone who is depending on another to come and save them instead of doing the necessary to save themselves. Nobody's coming to rescue you. And so you're going to have to do the necessary to rescue yourself. And in this situation, unlike when I was a kid and you know, was forced to drink the sour milk, I ain't have a whole lot of choice in the matter. I could have rebelled and then suffered the consequences, and she probably still would have made me eat that shit. Just saw 11:11. But we have choices now. You know what I'm saying? We have options. And it's a matter of making healthy ones, because not only does that affect our relationship with ourselves, our confidence, our life force energy, but it also affects our relationships with others when it comes to having a healthy relationship. So when the damsel is in its shadow, it's somebody that's waiting for a knight to provide for them. Seduction by romantic illusion, playing bullshit games, trying to seduce somebody into the outcome or behavior that you would like. Scarcity tactics, you know what I'm saying? Playing games and being manipulative, or waiting on somebody to come and save you from a tower, or like on Mario Brothers from King Koopa. Like, no, you're not the princess, you're not the prince who is in need of being saved. You have all the power within you to save yourself. When the damsel is in its healthy light attribute, is understanding the nature of healthy romance, and it inspires you to rely on yourself, to be independent and not codependent. So I love this for you all. It is calling for you guys to pay attention to where you have codependent relationships and what is keeping you codependent in those relationships. Is it history? Is it tangible items of monetary value, benefits that come along with it? Is it not wanting to feel left out? Is it morality, this pseudo concept of morality? What is it that's keeping you codependent? Is it their authority, a supervisor, a mother, a father, older sibling, or somebody whom you would look at as an authority figure? Is it their authority? Because you got your own authority, and it's calling for you to step deeper into that authority. And you cannot relinquish your authority trying to honor somebody else's if the divine is calling you to surrender with complete trust and head in a different direction or do things differently. So there's a lot of like being called to live in your truth and be more independent and better capable of being in an interdependent relationship where there is a healthy dynamic between individuals and not this being bound to each other by toxicity. So the thing that we're going to explore next is, why is this road blocked? Why is the road from slave to damsel blocked? Why is this road from you getting out of this slave mentality to being a more independent individual who can stand on your own too blocked? And it's you got 3 cards that came out in regards to the why, and it's your focus on some outcome. It's something that you're hyper fixated and focused on. It's like you in autopilot, you know what I'm saying, just full speed ahead, trying to block out distractions, but your focus is not necessarily on the right thing. And so you're needing to come up for air with Forest. Breathe. Take things one day at a time, one moment at a time, one breath at a time. Inhale and exhale. You're not meant to, because in essence, it's like you so focused on something, it's like you holding your breath. It's like you're not breathing, you're not living. You know you need breath to live, right? Inhaling and exhaling repetitively. But for some of you, the thing that is blocking the road is that you're not living, you're not enjoying life. You're too focused on some goal or some outcome that you're not. It's like you're too focused on the present that you're not being focused, you're too focused on the future that you're not being present, and you're not living, you're not breathing, you're not getting substantial quality oxygen in your life. But when you do that, you allow yourself to be activated. Ooh, I feel convicted. Not convicted, but like, this speaks to me. I don't like the word convicted. Something about it just don't sit well with me at all. And I'm going to explore that in detail at some point. But it's been that way for a minute now. Like, the word convicted is like, I need to explore the etymology and everything about that. But it's keeping you from being activated. You're not able to enjoy life's experiences the way you're supposed to, from day to day, moment to moment, to be activated, to get that spark that just like the wind beneath your wings, you know what I'm saying, that makes you feel alive, that makes you breathe, that makes you exhale. So for many of you, you literally are in having experiences where you're being shown where you've been waiting to exhale. And activation could be working out, a movie, something out of your norm that gets you out of your regular routine and not so focused on whatever it is that you've been focused on, and just let your hair down and just breathe and allow yourself to feel. So like at the altar, I was in the moment. I had a memory of my great grandmother, and I was activated, and I was able to release those tears and that grief that I had been holding. That's a part of life. That's a part of our human experience. So many of you are being called to experience the duality of your humanness. It ain't gonna always be good. It ain't gonna always be negative. It ain't gonna always be light. It ain't gonna always be dark. It's gonna be all that and then some, all that and the in between. And when you're so focused, it's like you're trying to protect yourself from having the fullness of a human experience, because when you did, the pain that you felt was overwhelming. And for many of you at that point, you didn't have the tools, you didn't have the awareness, you didn't have the knowledge that you know now. But when you surrender to this breathing, when you exhale, when you are activated by a good meal or some good conversation, a vacation, a walk, whatever that thing is, whether it's simple or something extravagant that activates you, the progress that you've been seeking to make and unblocking this road, it's gonna be effortless, y'all. Like a waterfall, it's gonna do what it's naturally designed to do in the ecosystem. It's not gonna require all this hard work and focus that you've been putting towards it. I love this for y'all. The thing that you're needing to do to surrender to open this road, to unblock this road, is to surrender to the wisdom of your body. Pay attention to what you're feeling. Pay attention to what you're feeling when you're in certain places or around certain people. How does it make you feel? Does it empower you? Does it build you up? Does it produce like passion and a fire within you? Does it drain your energy? Like, really pay attention to the wisdom of your body, because the body keeps the score. Your body knows. Your body is literally a GPS. We all have an internal GPS system, but some of us have the capacity to read and pay attention to the signs that our body sends us better than others. And when you in this hyper fixated, autopilot, super focused mode, it's hard to pay attention to the signs that your body is giving you about where you are on your journey and the moves that you're needing to make. Because sometimes your body could be warning you against danger. And then sometimes your body is telling you, you need to welcome this in. This would be good for you. This is healthy. This is actually what you need. So like me, when I'm like dehydrated, my mind may not automatically go to water, but I be wanting fruits that are filled with water, like watermelon and citrus fruits. And then when I'm craving it, I be like, oh shit, you ain't getting enough water. You know what I'm saying? But my body be letting me know, because I be having a strong craving for water dense foods. So it's stuff like that that come to alert and alarm you. Listen to your body's messages about a person or a situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. Pay attention to how your body reacts to certain things and certain people, certain foods, certain environments, because it's trying to lead you to joy, to a more joyous experience. This is what many of you are lacking. You're not having fun. You're not experiencing joy. You just a robot out here with your regular smegular humdrum routine. And it ain't gotta be like go to work, go to the gym, go home, go to work, go to the gym, go home. Hell, you could be going out, but you're frequenting these places that do nothing for you. These clubs or these bars or these parties or these people's house, and it's gotten old. It doesn't fulfill you. So when you surrender to joy, it says here that a key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. Some of y'all have gotten in this, you're on the hamster wheel. Like you've just gotten in this routine where you've become like slave to the system, so to speak. Whereas you're needing to do not only some deep healing, but also have that rest and relaxation that allows you to experience more joy in your life. The crystal prescription that I use bibliomancy to identify for you guys is malachite, which is a crystal that I've worked with quite a bit. And it is actually associated with the element of fire. Because that's what some of y'all need, some fire under your ass, so that you can switch up the routine and break the monotony. The keywords for malachite are enlightened leadership, creativity, confidence, protection, and a healed heart. Many of you are being led to do this heart healing so you can step into enlightened leadership and not be giving away your power to somebody else, because you your own man, you your own woman. And in order to really step into that, you're needing to surrender to the healing that needs to take place. But also that healing ain't gotta look like a Reiki session or yoga or any of the things that are deemed spiritual. It could just be you enjoying life more from a very healthy space and paying attention to what your body needs and what your body is telling you is healthy for you and not healthy for you. The stone malachite is associated with the solar plexus and the heart. And I'm going to share some information with you guys on the energy of malachite that hopefully will help you along the journey. Malachite is not hard to find. You can find that pretty much anywhere crystals are sold. It says here, malachite is one of the few green fire element minerals. It holds the male or yang polarity of copper's powerful electrical conductivity. The energy of malachite strengthens our ability to take action in the world and to create form from our thoughts and ideas. It stimulates the solar plexus chakra, and it promotes one's alignment with an expression of both personal and divine will. Its energy drives one to create and manifest one's desires and dreams. Your desires and dreams, not somebody else's. Not being a slave to somebody else's way they want you to show up in this world. be it professionally, relationally, or otherwise. Malachite carries the frequency of the enlightened leader. It assists those in positions of great responsibility to carry out the will of the divine without ego-based motivations. It can help one to step up to the plate and take confident action. It can help one find the resolve to overcome difficulty and the integrity to stay true to one's direction. Malachite reminds us that we are co-creators in this world and that the possibilities for our creations are endless. Some of you have put limits where you are boundless. Like you've created these walls or prisons of your own making that exist in your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's an illusion. It's not real. You actually are free to do whatever the fuck you want. You gotta suffer the consequences and also reap the reward of those decisions, but you're free to do whatever you want. Malachite can be a powerful ally for those who are trapped and waiting for their reality to change. It can assist one in perceiving the cracks in the walls that blocks one's progress, so one can utilize one's will to break through limitations, barriers, and apathy. It stimulates one's higher passions for life and creating. It lends one the strength to consciously own one's responsibility and forging one's life in whatever form one chooses. Stop handing over your power and your choices, please. Please. Like, life is short. You here. Live the best one. Live the one you got and make the best of it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look back, blaming other people for what you didn't do, what you didn't get to enjoy, especially as an adult, baby, that shit ain't gonna cut it. It's not. Them people gonna be somewhere living their best life with who they want to live their life with, how they want to live it. So you might as well surrender with complete trust to the divine, the direction that you're being led to go in, and stop making excuses and handing over your power to others as to why you're not doing the things. And one of those excuses is that you're so focused on something else that you're not living. So it says, spiritually, Malachite reminds us that we've come here to co-create with the universe and that fate is an illusion. It helps one recognize and utilize one's power in a constructive, creative manner. It can be used as a grounding tool and will assist one in identifying the steps necessary to bring dreams, visions, and wishes into physical reality. It reveals energetic and emotional boundaries, and it helps one honor those boundaries for oneself and others. If you got people that's trying to dictate to you how you should live your life, this is a sign that you definitely need to draw firm emotional boundaries. It can be a powerful stone for protection from power abuse or psychic, energetic, and emotional levels. I'm not a parent, but one thing that I have observed is that sometimes being a parent, being a parent, period, is a figure of authority. And sometimes parents abuse their authority. And that's why I like to see this concept of conscious parenting evolving, because I'm sure one thing that people who practice conscious parenting are learning is that there have been ages of parental abuse, and not necessarily physical, but abuse of authority as it relates to parenting. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't tell your kids what to do and give them structure, and you should let them do whatever they want. I'm not saying that, but you still have a responsibility to keep them safe, and that's part of it. And also to teach them by way of your wisdom, like how to thrive and not just survive in this world. So I get all of that. But when you think of it from a conscious perspective, parenting can be is an authoritative figure, and it can be abused. Any figure or any authority or power can be abused. Everything has its light and its dark, right? So we may be speaking to some inner child wounds. We may be speaking to some current like parenting struggles or something like that. But whatever it is, it's something where you definitely may have given your power away. Emotionally, malachite is ideal for burning through the fog of emotional confusion that can prevent one from making conscious choices. And you have that confusion, that emotional confusion, because you're too focused on something material or something that's not relative to where you're being divinely led. And what they say, what's the saying? Where attention goes, energy flows. If that's what you're putting your attention to, then other shit being neglected. And there will be confusion. But once you breathe and allow yourself to be activated by the human experience and surrender to it and be present from moment to moment, day to day, then you're able to make a more conscious choice. It says it helps one overcome the abuser-victim polarity and find strength within oneself. Malachite can assist those who have many creative ideas but are unable to organize or act upon them. So for those of you who struggle with follow-through, malachite can help you to see something from seed form to see its growth and fruition through. It's an excellent ally for those afraid to use their power because of past experiences with abusive individuals. It can assist one in overcoming fear of confrontation or fear of self-expression. It can help those who fear being seen or noticed or who resist assuming their rightful place as a co-creative force in the universe. You're being called to take up space. You were not born to fade to black and be in the corner, in the cut, unseen and unheard and unfelt and unexperienced. You were brought here to be experienced in your totality, your light and your dark. Physically, malachite can assist in restoring strength and vitality after illness and in rebuilding or repairing tissue after surgery. It supports the formation of red blood cells and hemoglobin. It assists with oxygenation of the body and overall vitality. Malachite is excellent for reducing inflammation due to sprains, strains, or other injuries. It can help draw toxins from the body and can be used to support fasting, detoxification, and other cleansing rituals. It can help alleviate the pain of arthritis or other inflammatory disease. It's a wonderful aid to digestion, and it stimulates the stomach and colon function. And there is an affirmation that is associated with malachite, and it is, I align my personal will with my understanding of divine will, and I move forward with clarity and confidence. I love this message for y'all. I pray that I've given you the information that you need to move forward, unblocking this role so that you can lead a more independent and interdependency. It's time to go. I can't talk. A more independent and interdependent life, not being slave to other people's ideals and ideologies and beliefs, or what they think you should do and how you should handle a situation and how you should show up or not show up, how you should live your life and what they think about the decisions that you make, and ultimately not being slave to the matrix, to the hamster wheel, chasing the dangling carrot that you were never meant to catch, and that you can just breathe. I want to see y'all breathing and enjoying more life. And like I said, I feel like this message speaks to me as well, because when I tell y'all, I get such fulfillment out of being out at different markets and like vendor events and connecting with people or whatever. But when it comes to like just socializing and get out and have fun or whatever, like I could do better at that. And so we all gonna do better and surrender to joy, right? If you're needing a personal reading, feel free to email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. Don't forget to like the video, comment down below should something have been said that resonated with you, and share with your people if you think this message might help them along their journey. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and if you'd like to donate, that information will be below in the description box. But yeah, y'all, I think that's everything. Until next time, peace.